You are an admin of the.
That's right. I am an admin. You shouldn't have done
You are the co-host of this podcast. Of course, you're an admin of our Discord. Hello and welcome to Red Stars Report, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news and commentary on all things Chicago Red Stars. I'm your host, LT.
And I'm your co-host, Grant.
We won. The last time we spoke, there's been 2 matches, and we won one of them, but we won.
At least we got one.
We definitely should at least briefly mention the Wednesday match, very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
They lost 4-2 against Washington. 2 goals, one from Schlegel. One was Leilani Nesbitt's first of her career. Awesome. Congratulations. Moving on. Leilani, speaking of her, got her first career start. Most likely because of the short rest or the goal that she scored. Maybe it sort of just drove to getting her this start. So it's nice that she got in there. They sat Julia, which I'm not too pleased with, but it was nice to see Leilani out there and get another, or get a full 90 under her belt.
I mean, it's a short turnaround too. I think it would be bad to expect every single player to play every single game. So I think getting that rotation in, I mean, we saw that with Bay FC as well today, that they had rotation going on as well. So good experience for her. I'm sure that there'll be more starts in her future with that rotation in the midfield, but I was impressed. So a good 90 plus for her.
Yeah, Lauren mentioned in the post match that he was like, she'll just tackle the hell out of you. He's like, she's just very brave. She'll just go in there and get you, which I think is very similar to Julia's style of play. She just wants to go at players and win the ball. So a little like for like there, which is good. The midfield's been a little bit of an issue in these last couple of matches, so it's nice that Leilani got to see some time and she played well, I thought.
Hopefully more in the future, but of course, like, would love to see Julia back in. I know that we can talk about this later too, but we need to start a campaign to get Julia to take all the set pieces. Yeah.
I swear, I said it in the Discord during the match. I was like, I think that Lauren just benched her, so I couldn't say anything about her not taking set pieces. Because usually I'm like, Julia is right there, Lauren. Get her in the corners. And then she wasn't right there, so I couldn't say anything. But once again, their set pieces were just not it. And the ones that were good service, there just wasn't anybody there to get their head on it. But I'll look past it since we won, but but it would be very nice to just get those set pieces under control. It's hard to go from watching a full season last year of the club struggling, but a very bright spot was them always at the top of the league throughout the season, getting goals off of set pieces or chances off of set pieces, and now for them to be nowhere near the top of the league in that stat is hard to watch. But like I said, they won, so I'll look past it for now. But come next Sunday, I'll be back on my campaign.
Better watch out, Lauren. That social media campaign is coming for you.
Hey, he looks at our social media. It's, maybe he's hiding in the Discord listening to me too.
Yes, he is. I'm sure he is. We'll figure
uh,
it out.
we'll figure it out. We'll find your pseudonym. um, so the match sort of uh started off a little balanced. Both teams kind of getting off on the right foot offensively. But then a, a listener, look away.
You can't look.
I can't look. Okay. So Tess Bodie charges uh at the back line. Alyssa gets the ball to Sam. Sam puts the ball back to Alyssa. Bodie just turns her shoulder to Alyssa as she's trying to get it out of there, and it bounces right off her and goes in the net. I didn't think it went in. Like everyone was frozen like statues, so I like that's usually how people are when there's just like a corner or a goal kick. So they were just like standing there, and I was like, oh okay, that's a corner and that or a goal kick, and I was like, oh that's nope, that went in. That's a goal, a very horrific goalkeeper error goal that I will mention here just for people to, know what actually happened in the match, but I don't want to talk about it ever again.
I just want to say that this match week has had three goalie error goals from what I read. I was watching the Kansas City and Houston game, the second half, not the first half.
You mean the second
And
game?
the second the second game, the 5 hour break that they had, um that was the AD French mistake and the defender mistake. Oh my goodness. But another thing I can think of too is a few years ago, two or three maybe, is when this happened in Portland. Now I
Right.
can't remember if it was
That sounds
Portland that
familiar.
scored or Portland that gave it up, but I think it had something to do with Tyler Lucy. If I remember correctly, the goalie kicked it and it bounced off of her, possibly bounced off of
Yes.
Lucy and went into the net. And that was maybe the craziest
This
thing I've
is
ever seen.
sounding
This is kind of
familiar.
close. It was a few
Yeah.
years ago.
This one was, yeah. Yikes. Yikes on all
Tyler
sides.
Lucy, Portland Thorns era. Go look if you haven't seen that one. Kind of similar, but I mean that one wasn't even in the run of play. It was the goalie kicking it. She jumped in front of it, and it went into the net.
Yeah. Um, I don't know why Sam passed that ball back to
Yeah.
Alyssa. Alyssa was like, because Alyssa wasn't even prepared for it. She gave the ball to Sam, started pointing to the outside towards Tatum, and then it just was right back at her feet. Um, and then I don't know where she was. I don't know what she saw. Like she just had a face full of Bodie and and she put it right at her back. I don't know.
Could have cut back or did something, but
Or
nope.
just put it on the ground. Bodie was jumping. If she
Yeah.
just left it on the ground, it would have just went right under her. Either way, let's move on from that.
Doesn't matter. Guys, we won.
We won.
We'll forget that it was a 2-1 game.
I'll just I'll tally that into the own goal column of not goals against us because they were ridiculous mistakes by our own players. But yeah, well, let's move on. The first half, like right off the bat, I thought Penelope looked really determined early and made a really stellar pass that led to a good chance by Mal early on, and that was nice to see because that front four has kind of been an issue, and in their sort of new positioning, this match I thought really helped the offense a lot. I know that you and I have spoken about it, and I know that Liz and I spoke about it on the last episode, and I've mentioned it, even going back so far back as last year, is Penelope playing more in the middle to get Mal back on the wing. And that's really what they did in this match. All four of those players were sort of um, rotating in and out of those positions apart from Allie. I stayed centrally, but Jamise Joseph and Mal and Penelope were all sort of on the right wing, then the left wing, and left center, right center. Like they just kept moving around throughout the match. And I thought keeping Mal either on the left wing or the right wing the whole match was a really smart move because it really looked like it unlocked a lot of what she's been looking for. Even though she didn't get an assist or a goal in this match, but Penelope and Allie really felt like they had a lot more freedom to do the kind of work that they do by both playing centrally like that.
I loved everything that Penelope Hawking did today. This is exactly what we needed to see from her, and I'm glad that it didn't necessarily take as long, maybe, as some of us thought for her to showcase what she can do. And so I was just it was a nice surprise this evening to see her play like that. What a great day for Penn State fans. I'm
True.
gonna hide this. What a great day for Penn State fans and people that like Penn State women's soccer. Um, what a nice showing from those two, and the broadcasters, at least on was it exclusively on NWSL Plus? I'm not sure if it was on Marquee today.
I was on Marquee as well. Yeah.
Okay. I was listening to the NWSL Plus game or commentators, and they were talking a lot about how Hawking and Schlegel are essentially the future of the Red Stars, and I'm in 100% agreement with that. And today was just amazing for the both of them. I'm not sure if you put a poll on the Discord for
Ooh.
player of the game, but my vote
Oops.
would go towards Hawking.
I if I did, if I had remembered to, and I should have, I'm sure that she would get the vote. I will do that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably went to bed, but I'll get
It's
one
late.
out there. I'll get one out there after we're done recording. But um I had seen so much from Penelope in her rookie year that it was like, this is a player that um, once all of the pressure isn't put on her, will start to build on everything that she wants to build on in her career. And I talked with her in the pre-match presser about the expectations that people have put on her and that she's put on herself to perform. And um, I've struggled with just how she's been playing this season so far. But when we were speaking pre-match, she sounded so confident and um, so um, just determined to be the player that she knows she can be. That I felt like she was going to come out and have a nice match. She had a better match than I even expected. And I think it's one due to her mentality, um, to her ability or her advantage speed wise against the rest of Bay's back line. They just could not keep up with her. And three, the just playing centrally. I think she needs to be there. I think she needs to stay there. And I think we need to just keep other players on the wing. I think Penelope is best when she's playing in that in the middle with Allie.
Yeah, I think tonight's lineup is well, I should choose my words carefully because I really liked Joseph, but there's also Jenna Bike. I thought that,
It's hard.
yeah, this was a really, really good outing today. And I think with the rotation of Joseph and Bike, and then having Julia and Leilani rotate as well, I feel like we have our core starting group. And you know what? I'll include Taylor Malum as well in
She
there.
played well.
She played excellent. So that's kind of my thoughts with that.
It's so yeah, so Penelope gets the equalizer goal. Such a good placement of the ball by Sam Staub, just like right over the top. Like I think Penelope even thought she was offside. She was sort of
She did.
waiting to see if she was
They were so
offside.
staggered. The defenders
Yeah,
were not
yeah.
lined up
Kayla kept
correctly.
her on side. Kayla absolutely kept her on side, and it was just a great ball control by Penelope to bring it down in front of the box. Great um, shot. It was wonderful. Like the whole the whole play was just everything just kind of came together and it was fantastic. Um, but as you mentioned, if you want to just go back into the back line, I thought that Tatum played really well after her issues on the right side of the field, goes back to the left side, looks just like the Tatum that we all remember. Took a shot to the back, trying to cover a ball heading down that side, and she got up and played the rest of the half. But uh, Lauren said in the post match presser that she, uh, I don't think that she was cleared by the medical staff to go back into the match. So they throw Taylor in there. Had a early on had a little bit of nervy moments in the box, not stepping to players that I thought could very easily get a shot off. But outside of that, overall, she was solid. I thought she played I thought she played well, being a player that, was the starter and then got pulled off from being the starter after a few mistakes, jumps back on during a short week to be a starter after the injury to Maxi, and then isn't the starter again when Maxi comes back and then goes out there and plays a good match. I think that's important for a player um to gain that confidence of just a solid 45 minutes uh after essentially being benched.
I am expecting a lot of rotation in that position. I don't think that we're necessarily going to know each time who's going to start this game. I mean, I know that if Tatum is out for a bit because of an injury, that obviously Taylor Mallon will be in. But if she's cleared to play the next game, it's kind of a toss up for me right
Really?
now. But I thought that,
I
yes,
disagree.
I'm like, don't do like a freeze frame on me or whatever and pull crap from previous episodes. I'm a little convinced now,
She'll
but I
have
will
another
say
goal line
that
save, and then I'll clip that.
I will say that I was really impressed with the matchup between Tatum and Scarlett. I cannot remember her last name. What
Camberos.
is it? Kimbreros? Yeah. That was a very interesting matchup and there was a lot of plays today and we can talk about this further in that I thought deserved cards, but
Hey, if we
we'll
want
save
to,
that.
if we want to talk about this ref, we can. I well, we could just go right into it. I mean, I swear I don't talk about refs too much. because most of the time I feel like it just comes from, biased views of matches. Um,
Mhm.
I grew up a basketball fan, which the entire fandom of basketball is just complaining about refs. That's what it is.
Yep.
So I'm very used to it, and I didn't want that to go over into my soccer fandom. Soccer is a very hard sport to ref, but uh, like I feel like it just this man was not okay today. So many no calls, not
Yeah.
one card until late in the match for Bay. Um, I just couldn't believe it. And even on the PK that Mal ended up taking a poor PK. Um, Even on that, like Penelope, great ball into the box, beautiful touch around Kayla. Kayla doesn't even make a play for the ball, trips Penelope. She falls to the ground, and he's just like, nothing. I didn't see anything. And I'm like, what do you mean you didn't see anything? I could be at the top seat of the stadium without any binoculars or anything, and I could see that that was a
Taken out from
foul.
underneath.
There,
Oh
she
my
didn't.
goodness.
The ball did not get touched at all by Kayla in any way, and it was very clear. And like that's just pinpointing one thing, but the Red Stars were getting absolutely like physically beaten in that match. Leilani took a punch to the face and they didn't even go and review it in VAR. Like, I did not understand anything that was happening in this match when it came to fouls. And I'm not saying that it was just the Red Stars. There were moments where the Red Stars were getting away with things as well, but
Yeah.
they were the reffing was just not good. And usually when you hear someone go on a tangent like this, their team lost. But the fact that this team won and I'm still complaining about it, that should tell you something.
It's also like a safety issue too. If you've
Yeah,
got like
absolutely.
such a physical match and you've got people being punched in the face, are you kidding me? Like we have found our newest Danielle Chesky.
I don't know if we have had a Chesky match yet, but oh, when we do, it's
Um I remember that she reffed the San Diego and Chicago game at Soldier Field, and I was so upset that she was the ref for that one. When I found out, I was so pissed. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So, hey, if she can ref that kind of match and we are seeing the Bay at Wrigley Field,
please no. Please no.
can
She
you imagine?
didn't even play the advantage on a foul where Mal had the ball in the box. That is all I remember from that Soldier Field match is Mal standing in the box with the ball about to shoot it and she calls a foul for Chicago instead of playing the advantage.
Yeah.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
So
This
it just
guy
there was
also
so
terrible.
much. Yeah. And I think even the person on VAR, I
Is
think
another
is kind of
person that
similar.
yeah,
Yeah,
the Discord is talking about them too. Another ref that is not well liked. It's not an easy job. I understand that.
it's
Um
not. But
but when I go and look at pro referees like little VAR reviews that they do, oh man, do they miss so much.
yeah.
So
I
much.
was uh I was thinking back about some of the other foul calls that happened, and I think one where Joseph got all ball and he called a foul. I was like, "You
Yeah.
got to be kidding me!" I was like
She
yelling at my computer. I was like, "That is all ball, and you are blind."
yeah, she was coming from behind and she just
Yeah,
got her foot in there, got the
and even
ball
the commentators were
barely.
like, "Foul?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't
Where?"
need to talk about the comment. These are the same commentators that wouldn't stop talking about OL Reign when they were playing
Yeah.
Chicago.
And then later on in like the 80th minute, they're like, "Well, you gotta give Chicago credit." Oh, really? This late in the match, we're gonna get credit now? Why? Because we're winning? Is that why?
Yeah,
Like,
it's interesting. Let's. I
we're
want to
coming for their
complain. I
job.
want to complain about another thing that I've complained about in the Discord. The damn
Okay.
cameraman or camera
Oh
person.
my God.
Like the sun is not an easy thing to deal with when shooting a
Mm-hmm.
match, but you got to learn how to adjust your settings when a player goes into the sun. You cannot have it super blown out like that. You are hurting my eyes.
As a technical director that deals with this on the daily in the summer, I always have to be like, "Hey, please put your filter on because it's literally just sunshine. Like, I cannot see anything."
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's just when I watch these games, and even when I watch games like from last year and a few years ago, I'm just sitting here like, man, I've only had my job for a few years, but I feel like I can do a better job literally radioing to these guys and be like, "Hey, don't do that," or "Hey, do this."
yeah.
But
I work in television. I've been a director before, and it's not and I just know how hard it is to watch a product getting sent out, and you're like, come on, like someone's got to be more knowledgeable to the point where they
yeah,
say you need to start fixing things or doing things better. Um, but that's beside the point. That we just got our complaints out right there. There's the three people that we wanted to complain about.
what a
Uh,
nice venting session. We should do this all the time.
we gotta brand it and start selling it.
Oh my goodness. We'll get a sponsor too. We'll get like a local 134 to
Grants
sponsor.
rants. I was telling you about this.
Grants
Grants
rants.
rants.
Oh, except if we had Grants rants, my face would be bright red and I would just be going on and on and on. Nonstop. You couldn't cap it at any amount. I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
yeah.
We cannot let it happen. You can do one. You can have your own rant section.
You just got to come up with a name. I mean, I just ranted there. We'll figure it out. But
Hmm.
let's get back to the match.
Fine.
Yeah, late in the first half, Chicago had a lot of chances. They really couldn't finish them. It was still it kind of felt like that same issue that they were going through where like they were either developing well from the back line, or they were winning the ball up high, getting the ball near the box or into the box and just not doing anything with it. But it didn't amount to anything. But they eventually got a second goal, which was Ali Schlegel. Ali Schley goal. What a great job. Like hats off to Jamise Joseph winning a ball in the opponent's half, um, getting her own shot off, and then Ali just on a rebound, beautiful first touch to herself, gorgeous finish. Um, like the celebrations afterwards,
I know.
so
I was
good.
gonna bring this up because I saw the carousel on Instagram and the first one, and this is so nasty in my opinion, but Penelope kissing Allie's boot, I can't.
So they
On
mentioned,
like on a germ level, that's gross. But on a
yeah,
celebration level, that's kind of iconic of them.
yeah,
So
they talked about it in the post match.
That's just on field in the moment. Yeah, I think she wanted me to shine her shoe, and then I took it upon myself to like kiss her boot because
It's a good goal.
it was a great goal, and I don't know.
We love scoring goals and we love celebrating goals. I think that the two of us, we're obviously roommates. We talk about our celebrations all the time, and when we're on the field and those moments happen, it just comes naturally, and we have a lot of fun playing. We just want to have fun.
She's like, I don't know, it was a great goal, so I just decided to kiss her boot. it was very entertaining.
I mean, great teammates at Penn State, great teammates for the Red Stars, iconic celebrations to come. What's not to love? And it's just like, there's more, is my question. Like, I think honestly, instead of doing different kinds, they should just pick one and have that iconic like partner
Oh, sure.
celebration.
Like, yeah. Yeah. Everyone just knows what's coming, but they're
Yeah.
known for that.
And it's like their own thing.
I do, if anything, I want, players across this team to score goals.
Yeah.
Especially Mal sort of leading up to this Olympic run. I'd love for her to get back into the goal scoring form that she was in prior to her injury. But if anything, if Allie scores the billion goals this season and we just get to see all of the celebrations that she has in her back pocket, I'm all for it.
I hope they can like narrow it down. As much as I love like all these different kinds, I just think like the signature moment would be such a cool thing, and like that's what she can be known by in this league.
Sure.
But I am interested to see what else they have in mind for
Yeah.
celebrations.
I want to know. I want to know if they practice them.
I'm sure they do.
They're
They're
probably
probably
just
in
yeah.
training like
They said they're roommates. They're probably just in their place, just practicing these celebrations over and over again.
that is so funny. Oh my God. I bet they have at least like 50. Maybe
it's
even more.
I'm sure they have enough to sustain for the rest of their career. I'm sure
10
it's
years worth of celebrations.
years. Oh, that would be nice. But yeah, the I think that front line really seems to develop a little more. It's nice to see four players connect well, but I would just say that like Bay FC's defense is what has hurt them all season. Um, and I I would like I'll look at this as a great confidence builder for any of those four players that were on that line and then eventually Jenna subbing in. But they will face more challenging back lines and they'll need to sort of keep up that confidence. Like we know what these players can do regardless of who's in front of them. Um, they just got to keep that connection going because we're not going to sit here every single week and talk about how amazing the front line is because we could have spent time talking about how they weren't during that Washington match. We have spent you and I didn't spend time, but Liz and I spent time
Yeah.
talking about.
We spent time at the game.
We did spend time at the game talking about how bad that the offense was during that Portland game. But like it's a long season. I mentioned last week, like this is still a rebuilding squad. They are still a bunch of new players that need to um, figure out things together to grow together. It, glimpses of this kind of stuff are great to see. And hopefully we see more of it. They are back at home this week. They are not playing very well at home. Lorne in the post match, I asked him I asked him pre match and post match, like about their road wins being, what this team is kind of known for right now. I think OptaJack just said, posted a stat of 10 points in their road games to start the season. Like Like that's very impressive. But he had mentioned, I asked him post match about the what we discussed the day prior about how the players all kind of get together at like a hotel, they bond, they, you know, are very connected, and then they go and play these road games and they are connected on the field.
Yeah, I think some teams are like that. When they travel, they seem to tend to bond and do better. Maybe the next home game we play, we just stay in a hotel and just treat it like a home game, and we see what happens. But that happens at time. They get into this environment, and we have a little bit more control. As a staff and everything, what they eat, when they eat, and all that stuff, and you know, they're not out there running around on the street at night or whatever before the game and all that stuff. So I know how that goes. I used to play the game, and so sometimes it's just difficult. So as I say, hopefully now we can start winning some home game and just kind of get on with the season.
There is a hotel right next to SeaGeek.
It's true. Just get them all in there.
Don't have to travel far. You just walk across the street. Hey, it's game day.
Yeah. Overall, I think the players across all the lines played pretty well. I think other than that weird moment with Alyssa, Sam, and Natalia were just who they are. They're just absolutely solid. I'd still put Natalia as our best player this season. She is just rock solid back there, and I could not ask for a better starting center back pairing than those two right now.
Yeah. I mean, I know I say it so much, but Silent Killer, like I always forget that she's on the field. And I feel like in my heart I feel like it's a negative thing, but I know that you say that it's a good thing. It's
Oh,
just
it
like,
absolutely is.
there she is on the field. Talia, what? It's like, where you been? Like, I know you're in the starting lineup, but it's like it's just so crazy to me that it's like she does all this stuff and it's unnoticeable, and I have a weird appreciation for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even give you an example. Like, I think it was Princess that was going down the left side, got past Maxi. Maxi came back at her and tried to cut down her angle, and she just like shot one straight over the bar. It was either Princess or Castellanos, but what they won't mention is Natalia just not getting super close, but absolutely blocking off the angle that Alyssa could not cover because she was going near post. And Natalia was there, and Princess had to try to get it over them, and she just shot it over the bar. Like, if Natalia is not there, she's probably looking to go far post with that. And that's not something that you're going to notice because the commentators aren't saying like, great defense by Natalia, because she's not the one that's up on the ball trying to stop the shot, but she's just always in the right position to stop things from happening. Just header clearances, just clearances in general, the blocked shots. She just does all the little things that you want a player to do and want a center back to do. And when you're not noticing them, and when their commentators are not calling their name a bunch, it's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
Next game, I'm exclusively gonna watch Natalia Cuica because I need to watch and appreciate her game more. It's just so hard. Like, I always forget that she's there, but she's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah.
And she's
If
gonna
she
do a great
wasn't,
job.
it would
Yeah.
not be going very well for Chicago up the middle. But they've all the goals that they've allowed, it's kind of really come from outside the box from a defensive midfielder not marking uh, on a rebound or a ball up the middle, or it's come from the wings. There may be maybe one I can think of that Sam and Natalia were sort of on the ball in the and it still went in during that Washington game, but you get caught out once in in 8 matches. I think that's good.
I hope she's on Defender of the Year lists. Because if she's not, then you all have to start paying a lot more attention to her. Just watch her.
Yeah, I think more will get up there. We'll see when that April 11 comes out. Are they even gonna do that? Like what?
Who knows?
It's what, May 5th? Like what the heck? Where's
It's
the
never gonna
best 11
happen.
of April?
Did they do one for last month or March?
I don't know if they did one. They must have. They had to have. I'm baffled now that now I'm thinking about this. What the heck? I don't know. But someone's
I
got to be
mean,
on there from the Red Stars. Christ.
yeah. Now we're gonna have to check after the episode.
Yeah.
Or we can
What the
check
heck?
now. You can stall the viewers. Let me look.
I can saw the viewers. Okay, so
Yeah.
who would I think from March? I probably would have put Sam on there, and April I would have put Natalia over Sam, and then I probably would put Allie Schlegel in there for, well, I guess upcoming May. Will I would put her, but April, uh, I don't know if anyone else. Oh, Jenna. I'd put Jenna in there for April, but I'm sure she hasn't scored a goal or an assist, or no, she had 2 assists. Put Jenna in there.
So I
Was
did
there a
a simple
March?
search. No.
Was there an
Their
April?
last their last best 11 tweet is from December 4th, 23. Yeah. And then it has the combined 11 from the championship game in partnership with EAFC, and then the first and second team posts from November. Um
What the
so
heck?
I wonder if do they still have a partnership with MasterCard because that's who they partnered
That's
with
usually
for
who
those
was.
posts.
Yeah, but
And here's another thing. Player of the game,
yeah,
we don't do that anymore, right? Because you know how the league would post.
right. I think the league used to. I know
Yeah.
that Chicago also used to, but they don't anymore. Maybe because so many people disagreed with their choices. I know I did a lot. Because
But
like me, I've talked about it before. Like
yeah.
I rarely ever choose, like if it's a 1-0 game, I rarely ever will just choose the goal scorer as the best. Like, yes, they won them the game, so they should be player of the match, sure. But
Yeah.
if they don't play like a full match of like good play and they just get that goal, like I someone else who played really well for the whole match, I think should get it over them. That's just how my brain works. So I disagreed with Chicago's hosts a lot on who was player of the match, and I think the Discord did a lot as well. Um, but yeah, I guess they don't do it either. Now I really should have. I didn't even do one for the Washington game. Now that I think about it, man, I am slacking.
Wow.
Everyone probably would have voted for Leilani because of her first goal.
Yeah.
I'll just pretend like I did. And then when I do something at the end of the year for players of the match, I'll just throw Leilani in there. I'm sure everyone else would agree with me.
We can make our own best 11 since the league doesn't do it anymore.
You you think I
It's just
know?
the Red Stars.
I was gonna say. I was like, I don't know if I could confidently put together a best 11 for each month for the
No,
entire
wait, I got a better
NWSL.
idea. Best 11, but top Discord participants.
Best
And then we
11. Oh,
Discord
sure,
participants.
sure. More
It would not
detailed.
be up to me though, because
You
all
think
I
I'm
do is
gonna play
scroll.
favorites? You think I'm gonna play favorites? That's not
Okay,
happening.
I guess I would do like a random
Well, you would be at the
generator.
bottom because you're never in the Discord.
I am in the Discord, okay?
You are
I
a
just don't
lurker. I
say
know.
anything.
I
I
know.
just
I know.
look.
There's a lot of members that just like to read and don't like to participate. That's fine. It's fine. I
If
I
you
I
all want
appreciate
me to
them.
participate, then I will.
I do want
But
you to participate.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the viewer at home.
The viewer at home, the listener.
The people
If you are
listening,
part
the
of our
people watching on
Discord,
YouTube.
if you're part of our Discord, hop in our Discord. If you're not part of our Discord, just, click on the link in the description. It's free. You can just hop on in
Shameless plug.
and just blow up the chat about how you want Grant to start participating in our discussions.
I would not be very good in those discussions. You know what? I'll become active in August when Nebraska starts playing,
And you'll just
and then
jump in
just
our
hyping
college
up.
chat.
Yeah. The amount of times I wanted to be like, Nebraska this, Nebraska that. And all the time it's just like Texas or freaking Iowa. Like,
Iowa.
I don't
Yeah.
care about those teams.
Just jump in there. Just start tossing out your Nebraska stuff.
GBR.
I hey, no one's there to stop you. You are an admin of the
That's right. I am an admin. You shouldn't have done
you
that.
are the co-host of this podcast. Of course, you're an admin of our Discord.
You will regret giving me that much power.
I don't think so.
We'll say
But just
that.
remember that I also still have admin power over you.
Oh my god.
All
We
your
are
Nebraska
loopy.
stuff. All your well, it's late. Grant, it's late.
It
We
is
just went through
10:43
we just
Central
went
Time.
well, I'm in the East Coast. The
Countdown to midnight.
the Portland lost the Portland loss diminished me. The Washington loss diminished me
That was
further.
painful.
I
This gave me a boost.
And then we go into this. The pre-match presser was yesterday. The match was at 7 Central tonight. Post-match presser. Now we're recording the podcast. I'm gonna be a little loopy.
It's good. You know what they say, laughter is the best medicine. So if somebody's listening to this and they're feeling down or whatever, and you hear us two goofballs laughing, we just gave you some of the best medicine. You're welcome.
I've also gone through all of my notes. My brain cannot recollect anything I wanted to talk about in
I
this
guess we can talk
match.
about how we are playing Utah again, but this time at home. And I'm assuming that we're going to be facing their starting goalkeeper this time instead of Carly Nelson.
That would be
So
accurate.
I guess we could talk about that.
We kind of sort of crushed them once. I think we can do it again.
Even with a different GK.
I don't think it was their goalkeeper that was the issue last time.
I'm just saying, Mandy Hot is a really good GK in my mind.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
But it's also Utah. Wooden spoon. I really wanted Portland to get the wooden spoon. They shouldn't have
Yeah, it's
ever
not
made
gonna
a
happen
coaching
now.
change. Get
Yeah, it's
Mike
not gonna
Norris
happen now.
back.
But you know what is on Sunday? Bark in the Park.
So
It's
you're
gonna
gonna
be
say Mother's Day.
it is Mother's Day as well, but it's also Bark in the Park.
And I will not be there.
And everyone can bring their dogs that I'm allergic to.
I'm also allergic. Twins.
They're all, I don't remember which section they're all going to be in, but there's going to be a lot of dogs around there. My eyes are itching just thinking about it. But
Hot
if you love
take.
dogs, come out to SeatGeek on the 12th.
Hot take. Uh, I believe that bark in the park should not be a thing. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say because
The
my work does
Discord
it
is going
too.
to hate you.
My work does it too, and it's just it bothers me a lot because I just want to go to work, okay, and not be bothered, okay?
I
And yeah,
my people at my work bring in their dogs, and or are segments on our shows about dogs, and I am in that studio and I have to leave that studio and go somewhere else in the building for a couple hours because I can't be around these dogs.
yeah.
So I know the feeling. Um, but I think the dogs bring other people, a lot of. I have a dog. I love my dog. I am a dog person. It is not a dog that I am incredibly allergic to. Um, but dogs bring a lot of joy to a lot of people,
You know what brings me joy? I
and they could also bring a win against Utah. And I
was gonna
believe
say
that.
a Red Stars victory brings me joy.
Sure.
You retweeted my tweet that I posted today. I just want to say that all my teams won today, and I will
Yep.
list them
Shout out
out
the
right
Cubs.
now.
They won. Boom.
Shut up. That's not what I was gonna say.
That's exactly what you were
Um,
gonna say. Shout out to the
no.
Cubs. Great
Is
starting
that why you
pitchers.
retweeted it? Just so you
Finally,
can.
finally, their bullpen did something well. They got the win.
God.
Go Cubs.
Anyway, Chelsea men's team won 5-0 today against West Ham.
I don't watch men's soccer. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Um, Chelsea women won 8-0 against Bristol City today. Amazing. The White Sox won today.
What is that, like
What?
fifth game of the year that they've won? Fourth? Fifth?
8, I think now.
Eight. That's too many.
Mm, okay. Who else won today? Oh, Toronto PWHL won today as well. That's another one. And then of course the Red Stars. So I am just like overjoyed that all my teams won on the same day. Probably not gonna happen again.
Probably not.
So
Yeah,
what a glorious day for me.
I've talked before about like what we get to do um just is so much easier when they win. Um and players themselves winning, is the thing. It's the sport. You want to win. It makes everyone more confident, makes them feel better. And the Red Stars winning early in the season was a great jumping off point for the team, and I think for us as well. It really did give me a lot of energy to do something like this. And um they went through a little bit of a slump against some really good teams, and they get this win against BFC. Hopefully they'll get another one against Utah, uh, or at least get a result, and especially at home, because I think Lauren said it really well about wanting the team to start winning at home, because he said, people spend their hard-earned money to go out to SeatGeek and watch this team, and they really, really want to start getting those wins at home for people. And the more they win at home, the more people will come to home games, and that number for that Wrigley Field game keeps climbing. And I just keep thinking about it, and I'm like, I really hope they're in like a really good place um as a team when that Wrigley Field game comes up.
In 1 month's time.
because if they win that game, that will be huge, huge for fans that aren't fans that are just going to that game. It will be huge to watch like a beautiful product on the field all come together and win a match like that. It's huge regardless of the result, just for the team in general, especially with how many tickets have been sold, like 15,000 plus, I think it is at right now.
Yeah.
Um, I cannot wait for everything to sort of come together. It may not happen consistently this year. I still think that they're going to be a playoff team this year,
I also believe that.
but they have certain spots they're obviously going to shop for in the off season. They got some young players that still need to develop into their potential, but right now, enough of the back and forth. Let's just start getting things consistently, so I have energy to do this.
And stop scheduling late games.
And stop scheduling late games.
Because we're
These
suffering.
these ones are, I understand them because they're the West Coast. But when you're scheduling late games in Chicago, stop. Just stop. And
Yep.
also the noon game, let's get that out of here. That
You
was
just don't want to go to Kids Day.
I I understand the kids' day. Noon, 1, 2.
You just don't want to hang out with me. That's okay.
I will go to the kids' game with you. We will obviously not be in the front row with a bunch of screaming children, but we will be at the kids' game.
We will be there getting sunburnt.
Sure. Bring
I'll
your
try to put
sunscreen.
sunscreen on, you know,
I
like
I have sunscreen. I am a bald man. I have sunscreen in every pocket that I own, whether it be my backpacks or my jeans or my shorts, whatever. There's sunscreen in them.
I'm excited for Kids Day. You want to know why? I'm gonna get a Red Stars lunchbox.
That's true. It's a good point. If anyone got those socks, show them off. I really like those socks. Those
I'm
are
sure they're
cool.
like massive.
Whatever that
One
Wednesday game
size fits
was.
all.
Yeah, those
I'm gonna
one
put
size
the
fits all things are an issue sometimes.
I'm gonna move my Cougars hat and then I'm gonna put the lunchbox there. And then I gotta
Nice.
the bucket hat is still in my car. I should have wore
Nice.
it for this episode.
I gave my bucket hat away, but
Yes, you did.
you should have worn it.
I know. It's in my car. I don't know why it's still in there. It's like decoration at this point.
All right. I
Enough of
think
that.
that's, unless you have other stuff to talk about. I legitimately cannot remember anything else I wanted to talk about.
Um, no, that's okay.
Cool.
I'll save
Let's
all
end our
my
loopiness.
thoughts. This has been Red Stars Report. And cut. That's how you should end it.
Yeah, you do the outro. Go.
Sorry, I don't have a sheet to read like you do.
I just don't want. I still make mistakes when I read the sheet.
I'll try and remember. What do you say? Subscribe to our podcast on all the platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see our glorious background displays that we've got going on. Especially the Nebraska scarf. What else is there? Oh, join our Discord because apparently I'm gonna be more involved on there now.
It depends on what they say, but that's what's gonna happen.
What else? Follow our social media pages. We've got TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I am not calling it X. You could not pay me to just call it that. It's not happening, guys. It's all Red Stars Report, right? There's no difference in it's all
absolutely.
Red Stars Report.
You've nailed it so far.
What else is there? join our social media campaign to get Julia to take set pieces.
I say that every week. It's on the sheet.
That is it for this episode of Red Stars Report. We're gonna get some much needed rest ahead of our next episode recapping the Utah game, which I hope we
There you
win.
go.
Have a nice Mother's Day, everybody. See you soon.
And with that, see you next week for another Red Stars Report.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed it.
Wow.